And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of New Earth Practices. So happy to be with you here on this Thursday. So just a reminder for everybody, again, if you're tuning into this for the first time, you can check out the playlist of New Earth Practices. Just go to my YouTube channel's main page, and on the playlists, you can find New Earth Practices there. You can also find the playlist for the BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge as well. And next week, we'll be having a new schedule when it comes to live streams. So Tuesday next week will be New Earth Insights. That's the Q&A live stream. Next Thursday will be another episode of New Earth Practices. And the next episode after this one will be focused on purifying the dream body and purifying the subconscious. So we're going to be looking into that one next week. Today, we're going to be looking into a review of going into the nonlinear mind, going into the right brain altogether. So again, that's the outline for next week. Tuesdays are the New Earth Insights, Thursdays are New Earth Practices, and Fridays are New Earth TV Live. So I'll be doing New Earth TV Live tomorrow with you guys, and I'm looking forward to it. And hello to everybody. And Moya, thank you very much for your generous donation. I really appreciate that. I always appreciate the donations, guys. That's just, that means a lot to me. So thank you for everybody who's offering that. I really appreciate it. And like I said, you can order sessions through my website, newearthteachings.com. You can grab a healing code card deck. This helps with support, so I can continue to offer these wonderful live streams to you continuously. All right. So again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a breakdown today of going into the right brain. But before we get into that, why don't we all just get ourselves nice and relaxed and take a moment now. All right. Blessings to you all. And thank you again for being here. So let's go through the flow relating to going into the right brain. So what we do, like I've done in the BCR technique, as I've shared with you guys, when we go through the BCR technique, we start off with the first two phases of breath, phase 1 breath and phase 2 breath. So like I said, we're basically keeping ourselves active, but we're not really keeping ourselves energized, right? So when we're doing the BCR technique, or when we're going into the right brain as well too, we're keeping ourselves active and aware, but not energized, not overactive. So if you're basically just very, very groggy and you're ready to fall asleep, I would suggest maybe taking a nap first or going to bed, and then waking up freshly, and then being able to work with activeness, going into BCR, or again, going into the right brain, okay? So if you're not feeling groggy, if you're pretty much good to go, we just start off with a few cleansing deep breaths. So we inhale, out to the mouth, inhale, out to the mouth, and inhale, out to the mouth. Okay, and we just check in with ourselves, right? We're just breathing normally. Am I feeling good? Am I feeling active? Am I feeling aware? Okay, and if the feeling is there, it's kind of like what I talk about with the BCR technique, right? We're kind of feeling those bobbing waves, right? Like we're seated on a plank in the middle of the ocean, and the waves are kind of gently bobbing here. That would be us in an active, calm state. So now we want to get out of the active, calm state, and we want to go into a subtle state of calmness, where the waves are not bobbing, but they become still, okay? So this is the process to BCR, and this is the process for the right brain also. So now to get into those subtle, still waves, this is where we do heart rate variability, okay? So when you're doing heart rate variability, it's good for you to discover your own rhythm. It's good for you to discover your own pace in regards to the amount of breaths that you can do. I often demonstrate 4 seconds in and 6 seconds out, all nose breathing, okay? That's very important. That is mandatory for heart rate variability. We always breathe through the nose. We never breathe through the mouth through heart rate variability, all right? So you have to kind of pick your own pattern, right? So you may feel, okay, I feel good, Brad, doing 6 seconds in and 10 seconds out. Great, then do that, right? I usually, again, just choose the generic 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, because it's pretty easy for the average person to do. Some people may have breathing difficulties. Some people may have deviated septums, right? And they can only breathe for so long. So I try to keep it at kind of a nice low pace. But what I encourage you to do, firstly, if you do have nasal trouble, you want to get yourself a Neti pot, okay? So you go to Amazon and you can grab a Neti pot. Maybe you can go to somewhere else online, whatever you prefer. But you want to get a Neti pot, okay? That's N-E-T-I, a Neti pot, okay? Once you get it, it's like a small pot here, okay? And you're just filling it with lukewarm water. I'd say purified lukewarm water is good. And you're just adding a little bit of pink salt, like Himalayan crystal salt or Dead Sea salt as well too. I'd say maybe only about a half a teaspoon. Should be fine. Okay, depends on the size of the pot you have. It shouldn't really be bigger than like this, right? It's something you can just easily hold in both your hands. It's pretty small. So I'd say about a half a teaspoon of the Himalayan crystal salt, or again, Dead Sea salt. Okay, and you're mixing it together. And then you're going to your bathroom sink. And if this is the pot right here, okay, you're putting it right by the nostril. And you're tipping yourself just like this. And you're breathing through the mouth while you're doing this. And then the water starts running out the other nostril. Okay? And when that happens, you just gently start to breathe through your nose, getting all the excess water out of your nose. We do not want to breathe hard. We don't want to, right, do all that pressure. That can hurt the nose. So we don't want to do that. So we're just gently taking it out. Maybe get a Kleenex, right, and just cleaning it out. And then we go to the other side. Okay? This is, again, the spout. And then we pour it, and then water starts coming out the other side. Okay? Then again, we do cleanup. Right? We just start to gently blow the nose, getting all the excess water out. And what you'll want to do afterwards, I'll have to probably stand up for this to show you guys. Get my chair out of the way. Okay? Is you want to do like a forward fold. Okay? So you probably won't be able to see me if I do it all the way. But you're doing a forward fold, and it's good to do it like I'd say over the toilet. And you're doing a forward fold just like this. And you're moving your head to the left, moving your head to the right, and just clearing away any excess water that may be coming out. Okay? I think I gotta widen my camera angles so you guys can see me when I'm standing up more. So again, we're just cleaning out all the excess water. And what this does is this really cleans out your sinuses. This is really, really good to do every single morning. Of course, I don't always do it every single morning, but it's a reminder for myself to do it. I know when I do it, my entire sinuses feel great. It actually helps as well, too, with deviated septums as well, too. It helps with clogged sinuses, and it really cleans you out. Even if you guys have like a cold, right? One of the best things, the natural remedies to do is using a Neti pot, okay? And just cleaning out the sinuses. Once you do that, you'll notice that your breathing is no longer obstructed, and now you can start doing deeper breaths with heart rate variability. Okay, so that's our key. We want to make sure that we have a good pattern, a good natural pace of breathing for heart rate variability. The deeper you can go, the better. All right, so let's try that now. Let's do 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Okay, again, all nose breathing, starting now. Deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Together now. One more time. Okay. If you want to continue doing HRV, go for it. All right. This is something wonderful. All right. We want to make sure we're doing heart rate variability as often as we can each day. Okay. It's not difficult. What you'll start to do as you do heart rate variability a lot more, you'll just naturally do heart rate variability without counting. Okay, that's actually what's going to deepen yourself a lot more, is when you're not trying to count the breaths. When you're counting the breaths, you're still focusing on an object. All right, you're still saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So eventually we want to try and get out of that habit, because we're just basically putting our awareness to a countdown rather than focusing too much on the flowing breath. Okay? So what we want to do is we just want to get into a natural pattern where we're breathing at a natural pace as we inhale. And I want you to imagine like you're slowing down the breath at a half pace, right? So it's at half speed. Okay, so we have 1x, that's as we inhale, and then we have 0.5x as we exhale. So okay, so now I know my out breath is longer because I'm doing it at half speed. Okay, so I do full speed and then half speed. That does wonders because you're not focusing on a countdown. Okay, it's good to do the countdown at first so you can get the hang of heart rate variability, but you want to try and get out of that countdown. Okay, the countdown should not be on your mind. It's the flow of the breath. You're paying attention to the breath as you're breathing in and you're breathing out. Okay, that's the most important thing. So as you get into the habit of saying, okay, yeah, I'm getting the flow down of heart rate variability, very good. Now do heart rate variability without counting. And then you're golden, right? This is what really gets your hands hot and heavy. This is what really stimulates the dorsal vagal complex, your parasympathetic, getting your heart rate down a little bit more, right? Really stimulating the body, bringing equilibrium into your body, is try to do heart rate variability without counting. Okay, that's the very important part. And again, we can do that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you want to do it. Okay, heart rate variability is great. It's such a benefit for the body. Okay, so that's heart rate variability. So now I want to demonstrate something brand new to you guys today. Okay, this is actually helping us to clean out the vagus nerve. Okay, we're going to do a vagus nerve exercise here. And it is also a breathing technique. Okay, there's another technique in regards to working with the vagus nerve that would involve me being on a yoga mat, and I don't have the camera for that right now, but I will bring that to your attention here very soon. So we're working to clean out the vagus nerve, okay? And the vagus nerve really just, it's a cranial nerve, okay? And it basically facilitates a great deal of operations within our body. And it just runs all the way down to our body as well too. So what we want to do is we want to clean out the vagus nerve. And as you're cleaning out the vagus nerve, you're noticing that you're much more active, you're much more alert, and you feel like stiffness is actually being relieved from your body. The yoga demonstration of the vagus nerve is actually quite simple. If I was laying down on the mat, what you're doing is you're just keeping your head still and you're moving your eyes to the right. And you hold it there for about 30 seconds. You'd come back to center. And then you'd move your eyes to the left without moving your head. Okay? So when you're down on the yoga mat, you basically want to have your hands here. So you're not moving your head at all. Okay? So it's right, left, right, 30 seconds right, 30 seconds left. Okay, but you're not moving your head. You're keeping your head completely stationary. And before you do that, you just want to test the flexibility, you could say, of your neck moving right to left. Okay, is it easy to move my neck to the left? Is it easy to move my neck to the right? Right. If we notice that there's some stiffness, we're being aware of that. When we're down on the yoga mat, and again, we're holding our hands like this, and if we're doing those 30 seconds of breathing and we're noticing that we're swallowing, or we're again taking very deep breaths as well too, this is a good indication that your vagus nerve definitely needs some maintenance. Okay, so if we swallow, if we get a full deep breath as we're doing, like if we're sighing, for example, okay, that's an idea that the vagus nerve definitely needs some maintenance done on it. Okay, so after you do the 30 seconds, okay, looking this way, and 30 seconds looking this way, okay, then you just sit up again, and you turn your neck again. And if you notice that your neck is much more easier to turn from left to right, you've purified your vagus nerve for the day. Okay, so like I said, I can't really demonstrate that because I don't have the camera angle for that. So we're going to do another one, Okay, and this is called the vagus breath. Okay, it's referred to as the 5-2-8. Okay, so 5 seconds in, hold for 2 seconds, and again, breathe out through the nose for 8 seconds. Okay, so if you guys want to do this with me now, you can go ahead. Okay, so breathing in, hold for 2 seconds, exhale for 8. Again, inhale for 5. Hold for 2. Exhale for 8. One more time. Inhale for 5. Hold for 2. Exhale for 8. And relax. How are you feeling? It feels like a sensation as if you're just splashing cold water on your face or you're having a quick cold shower. That's what the vagus nerve is actually going through, right? It's basically going through this cleansing. It's getting the oxygen, it's getting this, we kind of go through biohacks, we go through body hacks, and we're able to clean the nerve, the vagus nerve, just through these simple techniques. And it kind of feels like a refreshment. It's just like a refreshing energy, like a wave of refreshing energy that's flowing through your body, going through the vagus nerve altogether. Okay, so I will at some particular point film myself on the yoga mat showing you guys the vagus nerve exercise. Okay, and this will really, really help. This just makes you feel clean inside. I can feel it already, feeling nice and clean inside. That's usually how I start my mornings. Is I'm down on the yoga mat, I'm doing a little bit of yoga, and then I'll do the vagus exercise, right, where I'm just again holding my head like this, and I'll look right for 30 seconds, come back to center, and I'll look left for 30 seconds. Come back to center, and then testing the neck. Okay. I also do another variation that's not really taught by others, where you're actually doing a gentle bridge. Okay, you're doing a gentle yoga bridge, kind of like that. You're doing your bridge, but it's very, very gentle. You're not going full force. It's kind of like a half yoga bridge, and you stay there, and you're looking to the right, and you're looking to the left for the 30 seconds. As you do that, you're not just testing the neck, you're testing the entire spine. You're seeing how you can fully twist, and it just becomes a lot more easier. Okay, so this is cleaning out the vagus nerve, and like I said, I'll do some more videos on that in the future. Okay. Okay. Jane says, question, do we have to blow out when we give a command? Jane, I'm not too sure what you mean. You have to elaborate a little bit more on that. What do you mean you blow out? Are you referring to the neti pot? You're not really giving a command when you're doing the neti pot. All you're doing is just cleaning out your senses, right? You're just cleaning out your sinuses, right? So that's all we're doing with the neti pot. So I'm not too sure what you mean by blow out when we give a command. You have to elaborate a little bit more on that. Okay, so now that we have done that, okay, we've done the cleansing breath. We've done the heart rate variability. I gave you this little extra tidbit here about cleaning out the vagus nerve. Okay, so the next step we want to do is we want to move into the right brain. So we work with the peripheral pillars. Okay, we just start off with the visual. Okay, so as we're looking forward, we have a central point, and we're just putting our fingers into our peripheral vision, and we're just taking that in for a moment. Okay, so we're taking in our entire surroundings through the central and through the peripheral visions. Okay, and I want you just to take in everything that you see right now. Okay, now we're going to go to the nose. I want you to take in everything that you smell right now. Okay, then we go to the ears. I want you to take in everything that you hear right now. Okay, then we go to the hands, the feet. I want you to take in everything that you touch right now. Then we go to the mouth. I want you to take in everything that you taste right now. Okay, so now we're experiencing all 5 of those senses all together. So again, notice I have not even moved my central point. I'm still centering my gaze. It's a very soft awareness gaze at my central point. And now I'm going to take in all 5 senses at the same time. And I want to do this for about a minute or two, okay? So take in all 5 of your senses right now for about 1 to 2 minutes. Let's begin. Okay, deep breath in and out. Okay, so the important part is, like I said, if you're in a space where there's a lot of light, don't be ashamed because you're having to blink a few times, you have to swallow a few times. That's okay. Don't worry about it. If you're blinking, if you're swallowing, it's okay. Just keep your awareness on all 5 senses as best as you can, right? We're taking in the big picture all at once. And as we stay like that for a few minutes, we're going to go deeper and deeper into the right brain. Okay, so what this should be doing is it's minimalizing your thoughts. Your thoughts start to get reduced. So it's kind of like you're just seeing this stack of cards, right? And all these cards representing thoughts are being taken away. And now there's just starting to be less and less of a pile. It goes down to 1 card, and that 1 card is now being stripped away. All those cards representing thoughts. So the whole idea here, the intention of what we're trying to do, is keeping our mind still. Okay? Our body is still, and our mind is still. Like I said, it's okay to blink. It's okay to swallow if you have to swallow. Okay? But our goal is to really just get ourselves into that stillness state. And again, we can still continue working with heart rate variability as we're doing this. So as this is transpiring, you're feeling yourself moving much more into the spaciousness of the right brain. Okay? So there's less thoughts. You may even get some images coming into your mind. That's okay too. Okay? But what you're telling the right brain is, if you start to get flooded with images, is saying, save my downloads until after my meditation. Save any downloads that are for me after my meditation. That can start to fade away any visions that you're getting. It's great if we're having visions. They're beautiful. But we want to try and keep ourselves still. So we're just telling the right brain, keep the visions out right now. Right? Let's just keep ourselves in a state of stillness. Right? Where we may just be seeing void within our mind. And we're just hovering and floating in the right brain. Okay? So it's up to you. If you feel like you're getting too distracted by the visions, or you can still observe yourself while visions are happening, you can give instruction. Okay? It's very important, guys, that you have to understand that when you're doing these meditations, when you're doing these practices, you are creator. Okay? Stop thinking like a human. Stop acting like a human. When you're going into the right brain, when you're going into yourself, when you're going into that spaciousness, you're creator. Okay? You guys are the creator every single time you go off into sleep. Okay? You can manifest your dreams. You can manipulate them. Okay, you are God consciousness. You're not just stuck into one body. You can go into all bodies. You can have third-person perspective, right? It's all your perspective, but it's much more malleable. It's a malleable perspective. And that's looking at yourself in God's state. You have to do the same when you're going into meditation. You have to do the same when you're going into right brain. Stop thinking like a human. Be God. Be the God mind. Be the God creator. You give commands. So you tell the right brain, let's clear away the visions for now. Save it till after the meditation. Let's keep myself clear. And it will obey. It will do it. Okay? Because you're talking to the right brain and not the left. Okay? The left is a stubborn ass. Okay? The right is not. The right is going to listen to you, and it will clear away those visions for now. Okay? So the left is just this stubborn ass of an analyst, of a monkey mind. Blah, 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 blah. I don't have to listen to you. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And it just wants to go off on a tangent with you. But we're not in the left brain. We're in the right brain. Okay? The right brain listens. The right brain will definitely obey everything that you say. This is why I say you got to get into the mentality of being God when you're going into the right brain. This is what's going to make your meditations magnificent. This is what's going to allow you to go in there. And again, if you do have an inquiry, you can share that with the right brain, but I want you just to spend a little bit of time in the spaciousness of it. I want you to be afloat in the right brain for a little bit of time. As you're afloat in the right brain, where the thoughts are minimal to non-existent, then you can give your intention. You can give your inquiry to whatever it may be pertaining to the right brain, and just saying, give it to me after my meditation is done. Right? So you want to float in that bliss. You want to float in that happiness for a certain amount of time. And then when you're ready to come back, now you can say, okay, right brain, you can send me the downloads now. And here they will come. All right? So this is very important, guys. So many of you still try to approach this from a human perspective. And it can't do that. You can't do that. Right? You have to know that you are creator. If you are fumbling around like a human, you're going to be tripping over everything. You're bringing your outer shell into your mind. You're taking your outer tendencies as a garment called the human body, and you're putting it into yourself. You're taking your human characteristics, and you're putting it into yourself. We don't want that. That's a poison. Okay? You leave your human aspects to the human world. When you are going into the right brain, you're not a human. You're God. You're creator. And that is how I want you guys to compose yourself as. You compose yourself as God. You compose yourself as creator. When you start doing the BCR technique and you're doing the 30 days and you're learning to go inside the heart, you are composing yourself as God. You will say, I am God. I am creator. Right? We're not saying, oh, I'm Brad and I'm just a lowly human. No. We're getting out of that. Because again, if we're still thinking ourselves as the human, we're walking the inverted pentagram path. You are still identifying yourself as a lowly mortal. Okay? And that's not who you are. This garment is not who you are. This flesh suit is not who you are. It's a beautiful thing. It's a nice thing. It's a great thing. It's a sophisticated thing. Right? And we can have experiences with it. Yes. And we care for it. Yes. But we are not it. It's just a piece of clothing that we're wearing for a certain amount of time. It is getting out of the inverted pentagram characteristics of being a human being, where you are worrying, where you're suffering, where you're tripping over your own feet, where you're being a klutz, where you're being clumsy, where you're being confused, where you're flawed. Right? That's not how you live life. Okay? That is the suffering path. That's the satanic path. That's the inverted pentagram path. You're learning to live inside. As you learn to live inside, you now have the upward-facing pentagram path, okay, where spirit, where the heart comes first. And that's how you live a life that is worth everything, right? That is boundless, that is priceless. because you are living the heart path. You are living the creator's path. Okay? You're being a true creator. You're living as God from within because you are one. Okay? I'm not telling you guys something that's made up here. You are a creator. You are God. Please take that literally when I tell you that. This is not a joke. When you live inside the heart, that's who you are. And now you live through the heart, and you again create that potency of thickness through your field. And now all that love, all of that great intelligence is touching every fabric of physical reality. It's like I said with example, that you can walk inside a room with 1,000 people, and people are arguing and they're fighting and they're just tripping over each other's feet. You come in with all this thick, potent intelligence energy, and you completely sanitize the entire space. People stop fighting. People stop getting in conflict. People stop tripping over themselves. They stop falling over their own feet as a lowly, clumsy human. Right? They now just feel this breath of fresh air that's coming through. They can't explain it. But then they look at you. There's something about that person. Can't put my finger on it, but it's like everything in this room is in harmony now. Okay? I'm telling you this, guys, because this is what you can actually do. Because I've had moments in my life where this has actually happened. Where I've actually come present, and there's a feeling where there's just a nice equilibrium coming through me, and the people in my reality are corresponding in that way. This happens quite commonly when I'm walking through parks, because that's where I spend a lot of my time, is walking through parks, and I have people just coming by and say, oh, hi, good morning, hello, 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 right? And there's just pure greetings, and I see little children walking by me and say, hi, great, I like your shirt, and I like this, and I like that. And I'm just getting showered with compliments, right? It's a wonderful thing. This happens because you're moving yourself into such a harmonious space within yourself because you're living from the inside. This is what you guys have to aim to do. Live through the heart. You are creating all of this beautiful, potent energy that represents your love, your happiness, your joy, your bliss, your compassion. Okay? You know how to do this through the 30-day challenge of the BCR technique. If you have not done yet, stop watching this, go watch the BCR technique. Or you can watch this if you want, but afterwards, go to the BCR technique and start doing the 30-day challenge. Like I said, you don't have to accomplish that to watch this, but I would suggest, I highly recommend that you're watching the BCR 30-day challenge first, okay? And then you're going into New Earth practices because this is the continuation after that. But again, if you're here and you're watching this, great, welcome. But what I'm attempting to imprint in your minds is moving yourself into creatorhood, okay? And living through the heart. This is what we do when we're going into the right brain. You will feel yourself as God because you're in the God mind. You're in the God mind. You're seeing the big picture. And now you can present anything that you want to present with that. And now you just stay in that afloatness. You feel great. You feel in bliss afterwards. And now you say, okay, bring the download forward. And now this information starts flowing through you. So maybe you want to have a notebook. Maybe you want to have a recorder, and you're recording all this information based upon the question that you've asked, the inquiry. And now Spirit is giving all this to you. And it's a wonderful thing, okay? And you can do the same thing through the BCR technique. After you bring your love energy to 10 out of 10 on the scale. Love energy. Take care of this. This is what I want done. Here's my physical, my emotional, my mental body. Here's the discrepancies that are here. Take care of it. Clear it away. I'm forgiving it. I'm ready for it to be released. Let it be done. Apply. And now within seconds, you feel that activity coming through. And you're feeling all of this leaving. When you guys start to do this a lot more regularly, you don't care about what's happening in the world. Right? It's not important to you. Because everywhere you go and everywhere your thought touches, there is harmony. You are crystallizing your reality. You're crystallizing your reality with your harmony. When you see someone suffering, you send that loving, compassionate thought, and it crystallizes them. Okay? You see a scenario that looks very, very doom and gloom. You stop, take a deep breath in, send the thought of support. Crystallize that situation. Okay? You're just giving it your love because you're not doing this. Okay? Because now that's you acting like a dumb human again. No offense. Okay? That's just the truth, guys. Whenever we're living in the outside world, we think we're so smart, but boy, are we stupid. Okay? It's the same thing with me. If I'm living on the outside world and I think I'm doing all these things and I'm so special and I'm so intelligent and I'm so smart because I'm doing all these human things, boy, am I an idiot. Boy, are we dumb. It's the truth. Okay? The only time you're actually intelligent is when you're living in here. Okay? This is why women really have the mile ahead journey here for us, right? You guys are very much in touch with your heart. You're very much in touch with your intuition. You're very much in touch with your emotions. Now, I'm not going to say the following in the form of an offense, okay? Guys, I'm sorry, right? I'm a guy, but I have to say this, okay? Very, very commonly, women are smarter than men, okay? It's just the truth. Women are smarter than men. The reason being is because they are very much more in touch with their heart. They're very much more in touch with their intuition. They're very much more in touch with their feelings. They remember a lot of things. We guys don't really do that. We have a hard time, okay? But men can be as smart as women. But we have been indoctrinated with all the idea of this cold logic and rationality and scientific brain and putting so much energy into the monkey mind. And women are also being indoctrinated into that as well too, to try and feel more masculine. And don't do that. That's the stupider part of yourself. Okay? Live through the heart. Okay? When you live through the heart, work with your emotions, work with your feelings. Men, you have to bring your femininity forward. Okay? If you want to catch up with the women, because the women are a lot smarter than us, then you have to move yourself forward. Okay? They are the ones that are much more intelligent. Okay? Sorry, guys. All right? I'm not trying to come down on you. I'm a guy myself. I know. Okay? We basically need those feminine codes. We need that feminine energy for us guys to catch up with them, because we can catch up with them. We can be just as smart. But we have to integrate that femininity within ourselves. We have to go inside. We have to go within the emotional space. We have to go inside the heart. We have to learn to go inside the right brain more, because women can naturally access it quite commonly. Okay? If women are having trouble, it's because you've put way too much masculine energy into yourselves. Knock it off. Right? Balance yourself out, right? We're having a nice balance of the masculine and the feminine, okay? But the feminine energy is what's bringing you into the right brain a lot more. It's what's bringing you into the heart a lot more. It's what's bringing you into your intuition. It's what's bringing you into your emotions. It's what's bringing you into your feelings. That's the intelligent portion of yourself, right? The intelligence really is feminine. It's a lot more feminine. Masculine is good, okay? Masculine is a grounding energy, right? It's a grounding energy. It gets things done. It's an action energy, okay? Femininity is more of the divine intelligence. It's more of the divine intelligence. It's more of the divine nurturing. It's a very loving. It's a very soft. It's a very gentle. It's a very expansive energy, okay? So again, this is why we say that the masculine would represent this, the feminine would represent that, okay? Look at the feminine pertaining to the cup or the womb, right? Representing all of that broadness, looking that infinite intelligence. It's very feminine, okay? This is good. Masculinity is good because it's an action energy. It's action-oriented. It gets things done, right? It's very grounded. It's very solid. And there's a time and a place for that. And we want that as well, too. But we want this and this, not just this or this, right? We want to be in the harmonic balance between the two. That's the idea, okay? Yes, women are multitasking, exactly. Well, see, men are really, really good at single tasking because they go very, 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 very deep, right? And women are good at multitasking as well too. They may not go as deeply into as the masculine does, though, right? But again, they have that overall intelligence. It's like I was saying the other day, women just have a lot more of the amplified brainwave states than men do. It's quite common. I'm not saying this is the truth for all women or this is the truth for all men, but quite commonly, right? There's a lot more brain activity existing within the women than the men are, okay? And I've just seen that. I've seen that through EEG examples, right? About the idea of amplification, about the decibels. Women have much more stronger amplification there. With me, I've been doing it for 13 years. I've been incorporating the feminine element into myself. So I'm kind of at that equal pace right now. But the men, this is what you guys got to do. I'm hoping there's men watching this. Okay? Again, when you really start to incorporate the feminine into yourself, you're going to be just as smart as the women. Okay? That's what we need to do, because we cannot be in this too much. You turn stupid. Okay? And women start to do this. Okay? You turn into a bunch of idiots. No offense. Okay? But it's just the idea that we're living on the outside and we're coming in, right? So again, that's the inverted pentagram. The inverted pentagram is everything about the material reality, and spirit is at the bottom here. We get little bits and pieces here and there. And that's no way to live. That's the dummy's path. Okay? When we flip it over, the reason I say it's a dummy's path is because it's a flawed path. It's a path of flaw. It's a path of error. It's a path of you tripping over your own feet constantly, because you expect to have sanctity through duality. Okay? The inverted pentagram is the dualistic path. That is the satanic path, right? When you flip it around to upward facing pentagram, you're bringing the heart first. You're living inside the heart, and the heart governs everything. And now you just appear as this godsend to people. You show up at the right time, divinely. You're getting all these beautiful synchronicities flowing through you. You're getting all this inspiration. You can now start to work tirelessly for longer periods without feeling like you're being exhausted, because you're letting spirit do the work through you. You're being the divine vessel for God, and you are God, because you are that God consciousness. You're seeing yourself beyond a physical body, right? So that's what I want to share with you guys. Work with the upward facing pentagram. Work with the love. Work with spirit. Work with Godhood. That's who you naturally are. That's who you are. That's your true nature. Okay, I'm telling you this because that is who you really are. You're not this clumsy, dumb human. Okay? The whole idea is that, again, if we're living on the outside, the human becomes a klutz, the human becomes a dullard, the human becomes ignorant, the human becomes contaminated with ego. Because that's what that does. That's what happens when you live on the outside world. When you flip it around, you start working with your heart, you start clearing yourself up, you start cleaning yourself up, you start feeling enriched with all this love energy, you see all these things incredible. Well, guess what I would say to you? You are super intelligent. You're smart. You're brilliant. Because you are now God creator. You're living through the heart. And that's where your power is. That's where we turn from being dumb to being smart. Because again, guys, I would say the same thing to me. If I was living on the outside, going in, I would say, Brad, you're a complete idiot. You're completely stupid. Because you're constantly living outside, tripping over your own feet, forgetting about the power of your heart. Forgetting what it is to be God. Get out of that. Go within. Do these exercises like the BCR technique. Do these exercises that I'm sharing with you guys in New Earth practices. And flip yourselves around. Because now you become intelligent. Now you're moving into the smart path. The true path. It's the true nature path. Okay? All right. This is what, again, many masters will say to their students, their disciples. They will say, if you keep living in the outside world, you're going to be dumb, right? It's very clumsy. It's very dumb. You're not smart. Get into the heart path, and now you will know true intelligence, right? It's just the key. It's what masters have passed down to their students. Teachers have passed down to their students for generations. I'm just following a similar path, all right? Okay, let's go to see if we have any questions. Let me just go up the chat here. We got quite a few people on today. Welcome, everybody. Okay. So Jane, you're saying when we are talking to our higher self, we have to blow out. I still don't know what you mean by blow out, though, Jane. So I'm not saying that when we say let it be done and we blow out a puff of air. No, guys, you don't have to copy what I do. Okay, that's my interpretation of how I apply a command. Okay. So if you're seeing me going apply, okay, doesn't mean you have to copy me like that altogether. All you're doing is really copying a mannerism, okay? That's my mannerism to triggering a command. Doesn't have to be yours, okay? You will have your own unique perspective of how you do it. You may just say, let it be done. and it's done. Taking a deep breath in, taking a deep breath out. You don't have to copy me, okay? So yes, you want to look into these techniques, but you want to make them firmly your own, okay? So well, see, Brad's doing this, and I'm not sure if I can do that. I don't even know if I can snap my fingers good. I don't know if I can blow air like that out. You don't have to, okay? You're looking too much into the technicality rather than the essence, okay? I do that because that's my mannerism. That's what I've been doing for a while, and it's just stuck with me, and it works for me. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you, okay? You have to basically say, this is what I'm putting forward, and all I'm doing is I'm sending out that command. When I'm blowing out and I'm doing that snap of the fingers, I'm sending out that command. I'm releasing it, and I don't give it another thought, okay? So you may just go, done, okay? You may just go, it's all done. It's finished, okay? Create your own trigger. Create your own command, okay? Be unique to yourself. Don't worry about copying me with that stuff. You don't have to, all right? So like I said, when you're doing the BCR technique, Jane, I've explained this in the BCR 30-day technique challenge, okay? Go back and make sure you're watching those 30 days. I gave a great explanation about what you're doing, about how you're applying those commands, right? When you're filling yourself up with that love energy, you're bringing your love energy forward, you're talking to it. It could be a love energy entity, and you're talking to it and saying, okay, love energy, let this happen, clear all this out because this is what's on my list. Let it be done. Okay, and it's done. So uniquely follow your own instincts when it comes to that. If that means doing this, okay, then do it. That's what your instincts are telling you, okay? But you don't have to copy me and do what I do, okay? When it comes to that blowout command. Okay, let's go down the list here. Katie says, I do the 21 Tibetan rites in the morning, then BCR. Good. I've done, on occasion, the 5 Tibetan rites. I've never heard of the 21 Tibetan rites. I know you do those 21 times, but there's 5 Tibetan rites. You basically have 5 forms, and they're moving together in a fluid motion, and you do them 21 times. So I'm not too sure if that's the same thing of what you're talking about, but yes, I've done those as well too. Michelle, glad you're out of the hospital. Glad you're at home, and glad you're enjoying the videos. Keep watching them. Make sure you guys are doing them, okay? You guys really want to put commitment here. It's really that, can you be a devotee? The devotee is not to me, but it's to the exercises that I'm giving you guys. I want you guys to work to devote yourself to the exercises I give you. I'm not telling you need to come down here and you need to bow through my feet like I'm some guru, because I'm not, right? It's just the idea of saying, I'm giving you guys these practices. I highly recommend you do them. And I highly recommend you devote and dedicate and commit yourself to doing them every single day. I don't care how crappy you feel. Okay? Really just working on doing this, because that's going to take that crappy feeling away. This is not something that's just going to waste your time. This is something that's elevating your life. This is something that's greatly improving your health. This is something that's moving you into higher intelligence. Okay? This is not a waste of time, a dicking around entertainment type practice that I'm giving you guys. This is something that's going to literally shift your life completely. And if you dedicate yourself to it, you're going to see the fruits of this happen. Okay? All I'm asking for you guys is to give it 30 days and see how you feel afterwards. Right? When you're doing the BCR technique, I say, let me give you 30 days here. Okay? Allot 30 days. Do you agree with this? Yes, sure, I'll do it. Great. All I need from you is your dedication for 30 days straight. And if you can do that, you're going to see these things happening. Okay, this is not something that hurts. This is something that heals. This is something that rectifies those things. This is something that brings you into a greater strengthening. So again, all I need from you is your 30 days and to commit to those 30 days. And you do that, you'll say, oh my God, I want to do BCR more and more. Because look what it's doing to me. I'm keeping track of everything that's happening to me through here. I have a notebook. I'm writing things down. I just did BCR technique today. How did it feel? It felt amazing. Great. I've done my 30-day BCR technique. Now I'm moving on to New Earth practices. Now I'm learning how to go into the right brain. How does it feel? It feels great. Here's what happened. Write it down. Record it. Okay? Keep track of your journey. Okay, guys? I can't do that for you. You have to do it. Please keep track of your journey. Write things down as they are happening, because now you have a gauge. Now you have a progress report that you can go back to. Here's day number 1, and here I am on day 100. And now I have those 100 days that I've written down, and I can go back to these things. Because maybe I'm struggling with something, but as I'm looking through my notebooks, oh, wait, I was going through something like this similarly on day 5, and this is what I did. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And now I can go in and I can clear it. So please keep track of your progress on a daily basis with your BCR technique and with New Earth practices. Okay? Keep a notebook handy. Very, very important. All right? It's what I did over the years, and it was a godsend. It's very, very helpful. Okay? It helps you out a lot. Okay. Crystal Awareness says, I did it from the mirror. After 10 minutes, I close my eyes and I see it in the third eye, a light body concept of myself. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's good that we see light body aspects of ourselves, and that's fine. I'd like you to stay a little bit more in void, though. I want you to see a little bit more of yourself in the formlessness, right? Just see yourself. The self doesn't have to be an object, okay? You're just seeing yourself, right? That's the true nature. I'm going to be teaching this a little bit more deeper in New Earth practices as we go a little bit more into self-inquiry, okay? So self-inquiry is the big one. This is why I'm basically building up this ladder. I'm building a ladder for you guys so that you can go up to the next plateau, because what we're doing right now isn't even the grand teaching. Okay, this is all intermediary stuff. When you're going into the BCR technique, you reach one landing, you reach one plateau. When you start doing the New Earth practices up to the right brain, you're going up to another plateau. That's not the ultimate technique. Okay, there's another ladder and there's another plateau. Okay, and that plateau is called self-inquiry. That plateau is called self-abidance. That plateau is called self-absorption. That plateau is called self-union. That's the ultimate. That's where we want to be. But we're still walking up this ladder right now. Okay, so there's a lot more to come. Okay. Colette says, I love doing this exercise to clear the monkey mind, and it was calming, timeless, and blissful. Just before you disconnect, my knees got weak. Just before you disconnect. Not sure what you mean by disconnect. Okay. Okay, but if you're feeling like your knees are getting weak, right, we want to make sure we're working on that. Okay, we don't want to have weak knees. We don't want to discover we don't want to live with weakness in our body, right? So if we notice that these areas are weak, we want to work on them. Okay, so we want to apply love energy into those areas. We want to make every facet of our body strong. Okay, we know that we're more than our body, but we're still taking care of it. And like I said, great intelligence, the intelligence energy, the love energy, because they're one and the same, is what's going to help you to bring that strengthening, okay? So Colette, if you're feeling a disconnect from me, it's probably because you're tuning into my field. You're bringing the energy into yourself through my field. And then when I switch and move on to something else, maybe that's what you're talking about. That can happen. But I want you to hold this in your own field, okay? It's okay, guys, if you want to tune into my energy, right? And you're reciprocating my energy, but I want that energy that you feel to be yours. I want it to be your energy together. Okay, so you're basically, it's kind of like you're taking a sample. Okay, here's a sample of Brad's energy. Okay, and now I'm making it mine. And now I'm creating a very strong field. I'm creating a very strong shell of energy. So even if he switches and he goes on into another topic, I'm still strong because I've sampled that energy and now I'm able to keep it strong. Okay. Work on that. But also work on the BCR to help with strengthening your knees, okay? Age is nothing, guys. Get the idea of age and get the idea of feeling old out of your head, okay? You can look as young as you want. You can feel as young as you want. You can act as young as you want. Make it happen. Make your love, make your intelligence, reciprocate that, and it will be done, okay? Let's go down the list a bit more. Jaden says he's on day 17. Okay, very good. That's good to hear. Keep going. It's going to keep working really well for you. Anders says, when I feel disturbing feelings in my heart among other people, is it because my own heart lacks coherence? Yeah. Basically, if you are reacting, if you're feeling disturbed because of what other people are doing or what other people are saying, you're still chained to a state of lack, right? You're basically starved for love. The only reason why we act in an offensiveness towards what someone else is doing is because, one, we don't choose to see ourselves like that, and two, we haven't given ourselves that particular necessary intelligent strength to therefore harmonize that situation, right? We just go, oh my God, that's offended. Please don't show me that. Oh, right? We just basically X ourselves out from this. And that's lack talking, right? That's the ego talking. That's ignorance talking. So we want to look into that, right? So we want to do the BCR technique. We want to do the practice, and we want to clean that out, okay? That's showing a part of you is weak. That's showing you that a part of you is impaired. It's like going for an examination, right? And the doctor's doing some work on you, right? They take out the little mallet. They start testing your reflexes, saying, yeah, there's some weak reflexes around your leg here, right? It's pretty weak, okay? It's the same thing in regards to our energy body, okay? Our energy body is pretty weak. If I'm going around and I'm tapping in areas that you should be reflexing, but you're doing very, very poorly, I'm going to say your reflexes are very, very weak. Okay, your energy reflexes are very, very weak. They are malnourished. Okay, they're very, very low, and so we want to boost them up again. Okay, doctor, what do you to subscribe? Energy doctor, what do you subscribe? Okay, BCR technique, New Earth practices. Okay, work together with that. If you guys need more help, you come to me. Okay, we do a session. I work with you a little bit more advanced on healing levels and help you out that way. Okay, if you guys are ever stuck and you need to talk to me, book a session. Okay, and I can work with you a lot more. I can go into some deeper tactics to helping you out in clearing out these blocks if you're not too sure what to do. Okay, sometimes you may get stuck even if you're doing BCR and that stuff because you do need some advisement. Okay, you can come to me and I'm happy to help you. That's why I offer sessions. Okay, you can always drop me an email as well too if it's something very urgent, but I mean urgent, right? Not something that's trivial. Okay, so going down the list here a bit more. Yeah, Val says, emotional reaction to the outside world is a big trap. Neutrality is key to keep vibrational balance. You got it, exactly. And to keep that neutrality together, that's where the heart comes in, okay? We got to live inside here. That's how you go free, okay? It's the only way. If you think you can travel in the outside world and still be free, you're deluding yourself. That's where I say there's the dummy human. The human goes into dummy mode. Oh, I can just go outside and I can do all these things and I'm free as a bird. And then all of a sudden they trip down the steps and they fall on their face. Okay? The outside world is not going to liberate you. If you're living from the outside in, you're doing it wrong. You're walking backwards. It's the inverted pentagram path. Okay? Inside first, radiating outwards. That's the true path. Okay. Going down a bit more here. Roseanne says, question, can you give an example of how you might know you've received a message from spirit as opposed to a creation of your mind? Okay, guys, I want you to try and create something in your mind right now. Okay, so just blank yourself out right now. I want you to create something in your mind. How long did that take you? Maybe 2 or 3 seconds? Okay. When you're getting something from spirit, it's like that. Okay? There's no 2 or 3 second delay because you have to kind of say, okay, let me think. I gotta create something. Okay, I'll create this beautiful meadow. I'll create this beautiful forest. Okay? So something that's conjured takes a little bit of time dilation. Okay? When you're getting this from spirit, like that, like that, like that. It's a sudden epiphany. Okay? Epiphany here is the word. It's that realization of great truth that comes to you in an instant. It's, oh, wow, that's great, right? Maybe it's a simple message, but I wasn't even thinking about it. Creativity requires your thought, okay? When you're getting something from spirit, it's no thought. It's intelligence speaking to you. When you guys get a precognition, that is not a thought. That is intelligence flow. That is intelligence speaking to you. No thought is involved. That's the difference. You're only thinking when you're trying to cultivate something. Okay? Something's on your mind and you're going into the inbound out. Right? So you're going into the inwardness and you're trying to send something out that manifests as a thought. But that's not how spirit works. Spirit is projecting intelligence into you. Okay? It's coming inside of you, of course, but it just hits you. It's like a flash. Okay? Rather than us setting up a stage, okay, this is what I'll create, okay, this is what I'll think of, etc. That's us going into the monkey mind. That's us going into intellectualism. But when you have spirit talking to you, it's not a thought. When spirit gives you a precognitive idea, it's not a thought. When you guys are getting downloads, they're not thoughts. Okay? They become thoughts because the intellectual mind is trying to rationalize all of this. They then become thoughts. But as soon as you get that download, that's intelligence. Okay? Downloads are intelligence flows. They are not thoughts. They become thoughts afterwards because your intellectual mind is starting to pick it apart. Okay? Thoughts really exist in the intellect. That's the left brain's job. They take the thoughts and they try to break down everything that's coming in through the intelligence. Left brain is the thinking, intellectual monkey mind. Right brain is pure intelligence. Okay? So when the right brain is sending you something that's intelligent flow coming through, the left brain is chewing that, num, 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 and now trying to give you thoughts to interpret what it is that you're receiving. That's the difference. So when spirit talks to you guys, never talks to you through thought first. It goes through intelligence flow. And then you go into the left brain, and then it chomps it up, and then it makes it into thoughts that would represent some type of coherency for you to break down and digest what spirit is telling you. Depending upon the intelligence flow that comes in, that could take a while. Okay? But spirit does not talk to you directly with thought. It talks to you with intelligence. And then the left brain is being the interpreter, and now it's going through thought to giving this impression. Okay, that intelligent flow comes through feeling. Okay, it comes through that feelingness. I just feel like I have something coming. Wait a minute. It's like you're in a room and people are talking to you. All of a sudden you get this hit. You're like, shh, hang on. Hey, Brad, what's going on? Here's the thought matrix. Here's the intellectual mind. Here's the monkey mind. I was just getting this beautiful feeling of bliss, this beautiful feeling of happiness. I feel like this is, if I walk this path, this is going to bring me into greater bliss. So you see what happened there through that demonstration? I got a bliss hit. When I got a bliss hit that doesn't involve thought, that's an intelligence flow. That's a feeling that comes in, right? The feeling hits first. Then the monkey mind starts going in and starts chewing on this and starts bringing about thoughts to how to interpret that into language, into contemporary understanding. Okay? That's the difference. Because when you're trying to create something, you're using thought. When spirit is talking to you, it's using intelligence, hitting you first through feeling, and then the monkey mind comes in and chews it up and makes some thoughts out of it. Okay? That's how you know in the understanding of the flow. All right? That's what's always happened to me, even when I was channeling Adronis as well, too. I get these hits, right? And then language would come, then language would come. Okay, these hits come through sensation, they come through feeling. And then they come through thought, through the left brain functioning as an interpreter. All right? Okay. So Sensei says, my life was chaotic when I started the BCR. I didn't even have a permanent home. But now I'm so happy regardless of my external. That's great, okay? And like I said, when you're in that tranquility, when you're in that harmony, your physical reality is going to appropriate itself. It may not be right away, but through transition, your physical reality is going to start turning fantastic because physical reality works a lot more slower, okay? It's a slow, dense realm. So as you feel great inside, do you remember the analogy I gave you guys about the green bananas? You have to let everything in regards to your manifestations be ripe. Don't feel that as soon as I feel good inside, oh, my whole reality should feel like that right now. No, it's going to take a little bit more time because it's the green banana. It's the green banana that needs to ripen itself. Okay? So as you're feeling good inside, good, keep that going, keep that flowing. And you'll get bits and you'll get impressions and you'll start to get a lot more waves of how physical reality is transforming in that way as well too, because it's a much more dense reality. When you're getting in these hits, right, you're going into such a lightness with yourself, but that lightness needs to condense in physical reality, and that takes a little bit more time. So you got to let that green banana turn yellow. And that's when you're starting to get little bits here. I'm seeing some improvements coming together. I'm seeing a lot of people saying hi to me. Great, that's a good step. I'm seeing all these opportunities coming to me, Libra. It's like I'm on day 5 right now. And now my reality is changing so much. So many people are much more nicer to me. It started off a little bit slow, but now it started to introduce itself in waves. And now this transition is coming together. And my life feels like paradise because I'm living from inside the heart. Yes, that's it. That's the idea. This is what I'm teaching you guys because this is how my life is. It's the ripe banana. Okay? So you're working together with that. And like I said, as I'm going to teach you guys next week, we got to harmonize the dream body. Okay? Because what I was noticing last night was that when I was dreaming, there was some dualistic things going on in my dream space. And I said, this has got to get fixed because I'm not living in a duality anymore. Right? I'm living in the non-dual. So what I need to do is I need to start fixing up the dream body. And the dream body needs to get into shape. And the dream body needs to start going into the non-dual dreams. Enough with these dualistic dreams. I'm not in the dualistic world anymore. So I got to bust the astral body into shape. Okay? And that's what I'm going to be teaching you guys next week. We got to bust the astral body into shape. We got to reconfigure our dream body. We got to get all the crap off it. Okay? Because what we're really doing here from the start of the BCR technique is we're harmonizing our physical, our emotional, and our mental relating to the physical plane. But now we got to step up to the dream plane. And now we got to clean that out. So we got to go into the deeper subconscious and we're going to clean out the dream plane because we're saying dream plane, no. No more of these dualistic dreams. I'm not living a dualistic life. I'm in the non-dual. And so I'm going to go into my dream body and I'm going to clean it all up. I'm going to clean up all the subconscious cache that is there. And I'm going to let the dream body know, through the power of God, what is the new wave of our dreams when we go to sleep at night. Okay? We got to clean that up. So that's going to be the next phase. I'm doing that this week, and then I'll have some juicy information for you guys so that you can clean up your dream body as well too. It's very important we go into that next. We clean up the physical side of our life. Now we go into the dreams. We clean that up because that too is a mess, right? It's just things that are lined. It's kind of like going into a room that's just covered in debris, right? We have to clean up all that debris on the dream body level at the same time. So I'll be going into that too. Okay, guys, we're out of time for today. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I will see you all tomorrow for New Earth TV Live this Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And again, I'll be back on Tuesday for New Earth Insights, and then Thursday next week for New Earth Practices, cleaning up the dream body. All right? Thank you, guys. Take care, and talk to you soon. Be well, and keep practicing. All right? Take care.